Huh. Hello. Just a second. I got to check on the cats. All righty. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, well, the refresh worked. All right. That's good. So, thank you for joining me today. We're going to talk about the borders of Cambodia. I've got a great little video that I found, and so I want to share it with you that shows the Khmer borders from, before the Khmer Empire to after the Khmer Empire. And, it shows it's rising, it's falling. And everything. I've actually got two, because I've got one that focuses on Cambodia, and then a second one that shows Southeast Asia as a whole. So I thought we'd take a look at both of them. Alrighty. Oh, and the cat is like right in front of me where I need. Come here. This is baby. Baby. Makes me get up. There. Eat there. There you go. Eat. Okay, go get down. And here's your food. Here's your food. Eat. Okay, now I can see the buttons. By the way, how's the sound? I did a short video earlier today about shopping in Cambodia. I'd gone shopping. I spent about $14, and so I showed you what I got for $14. And the sound was actually really good. So is it still good? Let's see. Here we go. It's okay. If it needs to be a little louder, I can move the microphone a little bit closer. No, it's not good. How about if I put the microphone like this? And I can't make any adjustments. It's not okay. Yeah. This is the only thing I can do is bring the microphone closer. Like that. Hello, hello. There is no way for me to make adjustments on the microphone like there was in Streamlab, because now leave it alone. No. Okay, well, it's just going to be what it is, I guess. Okay. So, 1500 BCE, okay? BCE. So what you had in this gray spot is where there was a culture, right? Neolithic culture, they call it. It doesn't really have a name at this point. But yeah, right here. So let's hit play. I muted this because the music was kind of irritating to me. So there's been pottery found all throughout this gray area here in the Mekong Delta. Okay. Now they do say that there was, because now we're up to 500 BCE, that there was Indian influence. Okay. Then around 68, so the same time that Jesus was already here, died, Christianity, the Roman Empire is going on, of course, Greek and Roman and everything. Now we get Funan. The Funan, and this is during the Iron Age, the Cambodian Iron Age. Okay. Cambodians do look at Funan as their early ancient culture. Okay. This was Queen Soma. So we actually have, there's records of all the kings and queens from Queen Soma forward. I've read them before. No, baby, no. So then Funan expanded 100, 200. Now look at this. By 288, almost 300 AD, this is where Thailand is. So all along the coast, you had this main part of Thailand, part of the Funan, I wouldn't call it an empire, but kingdom. It's a kingdom of Funan. All right. Now this lake right here is the Tonle Sap, and Angkor Wat would be right about here, which isn't built yet. Okay, bye, Chalet. So now they've reduced back down, but they've expanded. And if you've noticed, this is very much similar to Cambodia today, except this Mekong Delta is now part of Vietnam, the Mekong Delta. Okay, it's going to shorten about to around here. Will be Cambodia. But at this point, it was all of this. 500 AD. We've kind of got the modern part. Now, Chenla appears. And so then the Funan disappears and Chenla rises. So Funan and Chenla are both words that you will hear a lot, you know, names or stores or theaters or whatever. And at this point, it's Hindu. The religion is Hindu. It hasn't changed to Buddhism yet. Now, around 700 AD, Chenla gets recognized as water Chenla and land Chenla. Okay. And the water Chenla at this point was connected with Java. And notice all of this that is disputed border is in this area. Okay. And this part of Thailand is called Surin. So you can see how culturally the Surin were very much. Now we get to King Jayavarman II. And I think it's Jayavarman VII that built Angkor Wat. Well, it'll show who it was. But so he really, King Jayavarman, had a lot of influence. And it's now known as the Khmer Empire here in the yellow. Okay. So you see how it starts to take over the Chenla. And it's still Hindu at this time. We're coming up into 1000 AD. Now look at that, how it just expanded to include all this. It would be Laos and half of Thailand. Water Chenla still had some independence. Now we're up to Jayavarman V. And Koh Kong was built. So then they had, look at it, now it really took over all of Thailand and Laos. And there was a civil war between two Khmer king, like two brothers. I think they were brothers, as far as which one would take the throne. Let me check your comments. Hey, Zach is in the house. So coming up on 1100 is when we're going to see Angkor Wat. There's Jayavarman VI, and we've added more of Thailand in the Khmer Empire. Okay, so now we've got the golden age of the Khmer Empire. And also along the edge where Vietnam is, that was the Champa. Okay, so they had wars with Champa trying to get all that sea access. You'll see they get it for just a little bit and then they give it back. So Angkor Wat is now being built. And it was originally built as a Hindu temple, but then it got converted. And now see, they took over Champa in 1200, but now they've lost it back again. Now this is interesting here. Now we're up to Jayavarman VIII. But so the Mongol Empire is going on. And so it was attacking the north. And so a lot of the people that would later become Thai and the Laotians, fled south from the northern parts. And by the way, now you've got, notice we've lost this side of Thailand, what is now Thailand, because this is when, in 1238, that the Sukhothai kingdom began. And that was kind of like the first Thai kingdom. Ayutthaya. 1300, we're shrinking a little bit. And also now in the 1300s, no, baby. Vietnam, this Phnom state is going to start, the Khmer Empire is going to start getting closed in on both sides. Woo! Look how fast that shrunk. Oh my goodness. By 1364, on the east coast, this is the Vietnamese, and then of course the Thai over here. This map isn't showing the difference between those, it's only showing the Khmer Empire, which is why we're going to also look at the other map. But now what you have is, for several centuries, this is Cambodia, all right, which includes the Mekong Delta here at the bottom. Okay, that's going to get lost during the French, when the French are here. when it becomes Indochina. Okay. But for several centuries, the Khmer Empire is very close to what Cambodia is today. Let me check any comments. Andy's in the house. Woo-hoo! Chalet left. She said the sound was bad. I don't know. I'm not using Streamlabs today. I'm going direct through YouTube, and I did a live earlier today, and the sound was actually pretty good. So I don't know what's going on with the sound. I don't know. Maybe it's her speakers. I'm starting to think maybe it's her speakers. Okay, so continuing. 1400s. Lost a little bit at the top. Now, these 1400s are kind of, it says here, are known as the post-Angkor period or the dark age of Cambodian history. And this is also when things start changing from Hindu to Buddhist. And they don't tear anything down, they just repurpose the temples and things to make them Buddhist instead of Hindu. Okay, we're to the 1500s. Now the capital moves around. It's no longer Angkor Wat, it moves south. Okay. It says here that some locals continue to worship at Angkor Wat, but really from this point until the mid 1800s, when the French come and rediscover Angkor Wat, it's off the map now. It's hidden in the jungles until the mid 1800s. Now, the 1600s, there was a lot of international trade going on, right? I mean, remember, even Columbus was like the 1492. He sailed the ocean blue and stuff. So trade into the Spice Islands in Southeast Asia is very prominent. So now in Cambodia, going up the Mekong Delta to Phnom Penh, you've got Portuguese, you've got Dutch, you've got Spanish, you've got English. All of these different countries and their explorers are doing trade with Cambodia. As well as China, Indonesia, Malaysia, which they'd always had. Ooh, look, we lost a little bit here now. Now, this period in the 1700s is the Nguyen lords. Anybody in America knows that a lot of the Vietnamese refugees have the name Nguyen. and so this is when they really came to power in the 1700s to build Vietnam. And so this is actually, then now the Mekong Delta was lost by 1795. And, oh, look at this. There's the sap. So this is the area. It's only going back to the 1800s, right? 200 years. This is the area that Thailand says is theirs. where you've got Battambang, you've got Priyavihir, you've got Odar Menche, all of these areas where they were dropping bombs by with the F-16s. It's all, and even Koh Kong, right? All of this is what they want to claim is theirs, even though the border is more up here like this, right? Which we'll see it again. We'll see it again when the French come, when this border comes back. Thais believe it belongs to them. Okay, 1800s. Let me check your comments. Hey, Gibbo's in the house. Getting ready for the date with Chalet. Well, she's not here anymore. She didn't like my sound. I hope you guys find the sound okay. Oh my goodness, look how small it got here. So Vietnam, and this is why in Cambodian culture, they're very much afraid of both Thailand and Cambodia squeezing out, Thailand and Vietnam squeezing out Cambodia, because 1840, we in America, we're looking at westward expansion, the Civil War's on the horizon, New York City, Chicago, all these are big cities. And while that's going on, over here, Cambodia is shrinking. But they're able to gain back. But it's very much in the Cambodian mindset, how both sides try to squeeze them. So now, 1860, all right, is, let me go back just a hair. The 1860s is 1863, all right, is when Cambodia became a protectorate of France. Okay. Because they wanted protection from Thailand and Vietnam. Are the lady boys still picking on me? They're not picking on me. Oh, but baby's got to get down. Okay, let's move forward. Oh, look, now we've got some more game here. Oh, we've got game. Oh, look. That is modern day Cambodia. Okay, 1914. So during World War I, not quite World War II yet, and we're going to see some changes during World War II, which becomes very recent history for Thais and Cambodians. Okay. Oh, okay, so we're in World War II. Okay, the other map I'm going to show you really shows the Japanese held territory. This one doesn't really show it, because when the Japanese because Cambodia was under France, they were under the Vichy government. Remember, France was together with the they let the Nazis come in, right, and run France, even though they had resistance. But the Vichy government worked in cooperation with Hitler. And so they were part of the Axis powers officially, right, rather than the Allies. But you had Charles de Gaulle and the resistance that was part of the Allies. So Japan was allowed to come into Cambodia, and Thailand negotiated with Japan to take over a lot of that area across, this area here in the west of Cambodia, the west and northwest. So they were running it during World War II. But in 1953, we get our independence from France. Starting in 1967 is when a civil war starts. So then you've got Sihanouk, then you have Limno, then you have the Khmer Rouge. Oh, look at that. The Khmer, it has this being the Khmer Rouge. They actually had all of Cambodia. Then they list here Vietnamese invasion. Okay, and yes, that is part of history. However, 1979, some Cambodians want to say that it was a Vietnamese invasion. Other Cambodians say that the Prime Minister Hun Sen had gone to the Vietnamese, asked for their help. The Vietnamese allowed a volunteer army, whoever wanted to volunteer, to join Hun Sen and take back Cambodia for Cambodians. And so they were here for 10 years, and then they went back to Vietnam. So it's up to you if you which side of history you want to put that. And then we're into the 2000s. And this goes to 2020. Okay. I'm glad everybody's having a Happy New Year. All right, so I'm going to share a different one that shows a broader, okay, this goes to 300 BCE, all right? Let me turn off the music again. So now we're starting with the Hanoi area. It says it's called An Loc, whatever, but this is going to become North Vietnam up here, right? And you've got somebody called Arakan over here. And most of all of this is, if it's inhabited, because remember we had like what, 1200, 1500 BCE in the other one for Cambodia, just having the pottery and things. So there were people living in these areas, but they weren't kingdoms, all right? Now, move it a little bit. There we go. So now, 280 CE, okay, or AD, Jin is part of the Chinese Empire. I don't know. The North Vietnamese say that they were never part of China, but whatever. Then you've got the Champa a little bit here, and remember Funan, which had all the coast. Okay, and this Arakan is Myanmar. So this is just changing different dynasties of more China. And then you've got some areas growing here with Myanmar. Now this is interesting, this Lavo, I looked it up, and I think that's when you get the Sukhothai. So this is a southern Thai, but it's not. Remember, the Mongol Empire is going to come later and push people from the north down. And when the north and the south mix, this is where you get Thai from, like modern Thai. Okay, so we're at 500 AD. Not much has changed. Now you've got Hanoi taken over again here. Oops, there was Chenla. I was going to point out. Oh, well, there you go. So Chenla has taken over Funan. You get different Chinese dynasties. Now, this little bit up here is probably Lao. Chenla expands. It divides into land and water, Chenla. So notice that what we just learned about Cambodia and the Khmer Empire is lining up with this. It's just showing a broader perspective and what's going on in Vietnam, in Myanmar, in Laos, and in Thailand. So you're getting the whole region. Let me check your. Was all that the movie Killing Fields? Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson wasn't in the Killing Fields. That was another guy. But lost picture, no map. Oh, that was when I changed. I changed maps. I think, Mumsy. Right? Lost video. What? Oh, now the video's good. Oh, you're behind and trying to catch up. All right. Because there was a moment when I went from one map to the other map. And that's what you guys are probably talking about. All right. So both of these are very good representations of actual history. All right. They both line up with each other. This one just shows a little bit broader the region, which is important. Oh, but the Killing Fields was, yes, in Cambodia during the Khmer Rouge time, which was 1975 to 79. But it was 3 years, 8 months, and 20 days. Cambodians, that's drilled into Cambodians from the time they are children. 3 years, 8 months, and 20 days. Brian Brown? No. But John Malkovich was in it, but he wasn't the main guy. Sheldon or Sydney Sheldon or something like that. I don't know. You guys can Google it. All right, let's continue. Remember, I mentioned that there was connections with Java. So they're saying these reddish areas are connected with trade with Java. I don't even know where the blue is. It says pagan, but pagan is up here. That's in Myanmar. Not like druid pagan. I think Bagan or something, the temples of Bagan, it's like that. Okay, so now we've got the actual Khmer Empire being named as the Khmer Empire, which was Funan and then Chenla, and now it becomes the Khmer Empire. So now you also have some stuff going on up here with Lao area and China. Well, China and Lao. But you've got this color here for that Hanoi, Vietnam, not the South Vietnam. Now, all the South doesn't have anything to do with Vietnam yet. Oh, the people outside are so loud. All my neighbors are having parties. Now you actually get the name Viet. So now you've got Myanmar, pagan or Pagan, it might be Pagan, is being established. Small stature lady, she was in Silverado as a bartender. Oh wait, I think I know who you're talking about. I don't know. Hi NSVE4MS. Hello. Oops. Okay. But notice, even while Myanmar is coming here, the Khmer Empire is growing. This little bit of what will be part of Thailand is very small. It's not the whole country. So Thailand was never the whole country. even into going into 1100 AD. So Myanmar's expanding. Khmer Empire starting to expand. Champa's holding on to the coast. Muang is Laos. So Laos getting, becoming Laos. Now there's the Mongol Empire. Remember in the last one, we said the Mongol Empire came in from the north and pushed the Laotians and the Thai, people like tribal people that would become Thai. Well, I think they were actually called Thai, but Tai, pushing them down for safety from the Mongols. And notice that Lavo is now very small, and we've got Sukhothai. So this is the first time in the 1200s that we have Sukhothai. Now Yuan, or Yuan, which is modern China. So China kicked out the Mongols, right? And that's pretty much modern day China. Once we have that, Pagan is Myanmar, Muang's is Laos. We've got the Hanoi area for Dai Viet. Champa's still there. And we've got the Khmer Empire, which still has control of the Mekong Delta. Now the Pagan has broken into smaller groups. It's not a united empire anymore. Champa just got a little bigger. Oh, now we lost some Khmer Empire. We're at 1368. We're not at the height yet. No, wait. No, the 1100s is when the Khmer Empire built Angkor Wat. There's the Ming Dynasty. Now notice Thailand changed from Sukhothai to Ayutthaya. Those are two very historical parts, time periods in Thai history, Sukhothai and Ayutthaya. Let's see what we're saying. Yes, DNA says the base DNA of mainland Southeast Asian is Mon Khmer. The language studies also say before other languages are Mon Khmer from the research articles I've read. Sam Watterson, that's it. That's his name. Don't let the lady boys pick on me. Okay, I won't. Okay, now, in the 1400s, the Hanoi, northern Vietnam is getting bigger. Ayutthaya is spreading a little bit. Champa is still just holding on. The Lan Xang is mostly Lao. This Ava is Myanmar. We're in the 1500s. Oh, now look at the northern Vietnam is taking over Champa. It's pushing down. It just took a whole lot of territory from Champa. So Champa now is just, this little bit here. Ayutthaya is not that different. Myanmar's got a lot of different groups. They call it the Toungoo Empire. Oh, look at that. Whoa, 1566. Oh my goodness, what just happened? So the Ming Dynasty is holding on to China. Vietnam, northern Vietnam has got the coast still. Lan Xang is still holding on to Laos. Cambodia is, Kampuchea. So the Khmer Empire has now become Kampuchea. And Myanmar just took over all of Thailand. Oh, look at, and they took over, all of Laos there for a minute. Let me see if I can, look at that. All of Thailand and all of Laos. But only briefly, only briefly. And then they get pushed back, and now we've got Laos again and Ayutthaya. So Thailand got it back, and Cambodia is still there. Cambodia, Vietnam still there. Champa still a little bit. Let me check your 7 Academy Awards and 17 nominations. Yeah, it was good. Because it was, I mean, nobody talked about it before. Now people talk about it, but when that movie came out, nobody was talking about what happened. Okay, so Ayutthaya just spread up here. Now you see this little bit down here that they pushed it back, this little bit. Whoops. Right. So that's more modern Myanmar, that they have this bit here. And Thailand has this same kind of bit over here with Cambodia. So we're in the 1600s. Now we get the words that we're used to. By the 1700s, just before America is going to become a nation, we've got Prabang and Vientiane Chen, right? And we have Champasak. But a lot of this is going to go to Thailand, because you're going to have a really weird shape. This shape of Vietnam being big at the top and then like a tail like a snake is going to be what happens with Lao. You have Prabang and then like a tail like a snake. Okay, 1762. We've got Bengal now up here. The name has changed for Myanmar. Ayutthaya still about the same. Okay, so look at how many hundreds of years, how many centuries. Thailand was not all, I mean, what they have today is still not, I mean, they're still not even to what they have today. So for them to be claiming like, oh, this has always been ours, it hasn't always been theirs. Oh, look, oh. So we're still in the 1700s, but almost to the 1800s. Look at that. They took over all of Laos, except this little bit where Praya Vihir is, this ridge. In Cambodia, looking very similar to what it is today, but we lose the Mekong Delta, and we lose some of this mountain range over here on the side. But we've got Bengal, we've got Konbong is Myanmar, and now Thailand is taking over a lot more. I'm not sure who Ratanakosin Sin is, but it's all part of the Kingdom of Siam. Oh, 1844. Where did Cambodia go? 50, 60. Okay, 67. Remember, 1863 is when the French came. Now notice, we've got this little bit of Cambodia, and the Mekong Delta is called Cochin China. All right. The French did that because this Cochin China is where they're going to give it to Vietnam later. But that's the first time you see Cochin China. Now they're okay, so we also in the blue see what will in the future be Vietnam. And remember the Gulf of Tonkin, right? The northern part is called Tonkin here. And Annam is what used to be Champa, or Champa, right? Here along the whole coast. Now look at Burma. See, Burma is Myanmar. But so in the 1800s, not that far back, Thailand did take over. But how many centuries was it all Cambodian and Khmer Empire before they took it, right? Oh, now we've got what's going to be Lao coming into play here, right? It's still blue. It's under the French. Oh, and now by 19th, remember the maps that everybody's talking about is like 1904, 1905, right? And then maybe ratified in 1908, right? Because they're the one, I mean, the French made a treaty with Siam for this to be the boundaries, okay? And for Cambodia, you see there's what they call the parrot's beak. This Cochin China, which all this time had been part of the Khmer Empire, now is going to be given to Vietnam when Cambodia gets its independence, and when the French leave. They're going to make Tonkin and Annam and Cochin China all part of Vietnam. And then all this middle blue is going to be Laos. Okay, so we have different things going on in China. This is all part of China. Now we have, by 1933, I'm not sure exactly which year, Siam rebrands itself as Thailand. And Burma is going to become Myanmar. Whoa, what happened there? Oops. There we go. We got Burma, we got Thailand. All of this, 1942. Remember I told you about the war? So because of the French being part of the Vichy government, they allowed Japan to occupy Indochina. And Burma got occupied by the Japanese as well. Thailand didn't get occupied, as you can see, but they were making deals with the Japanese, and they were running a lot of this northern part of Cambodia. Let's see if I can see 1945. Let's see if I can stop it on 45. No, I can't. Okay, so we've got China, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, and we still have Cochin China. Because in 1952, remember, 1953, one more year, Cambodia is going to get its independence. There you go. So now we have Cambodia in the modern borders, according to that French map. We don't see Cochin China anymore. It's now part of South Vietnam and North Vietnam. And Ho Chi Minh wanted unification for the North and the South. Wanted them to all be one country, not be North and South. And that's when the Vietnam War started, which they call the American War. So now we've got a unification of Burma. The 70s. So see, in the 70s, after the war, Vietnam is unified. It's all one country. I think this is pretty much it. Except they changed the name to Myanmar. But there you go. That's it. Oops. And then we have our modern border. So Thailand agreed to to this border. And now they're just wanting to change it. Well, the map that was used back in the early hundreds by the French, they're trying to say that it wasn't specific enough. Like there's a border area that's about 100 yards, and they trying to make it more specific, that 100 yards belongs all to them. And the two countries are supposed to demarcate it themselves. So much border movement. I know, crazy, huh? So there you go. That's the real history of the borders. Unfortunately, I think that a lot of the Thai citizens, while they're well-meaning, don't understand this history because they're just taught that it's all Thailand and it's all theirs, right? And because a lot of them don't speak English, because Thailand is very proud to be Thai and only Thai. I'll tell you a story when I was in Thailand. And this was back in 2006, but it really epitomizes the fact that they don't want anything to do with foreigners, okay, except take their money. Yo, traveling fools, Slumdog Millionaire, one faction overrode the other, changed the name of the city. You know, I haven't seen it. Oh my gosh. I know, like, the cameraman, the guy that was the director of photography, somebody I know, and I gotta see if it's on Netflix or something. I gotta watch it. Anyway, so a story about being in Thailand. I expect if I travel to a foreign country that not everybody's going to speak English, okay? They can speak, right? I'm in their country, so I should learn to adapt, right? I don't care if it's in Europe or in Asia or in South America, right? I mean, that world travelers, international travelers should be accepting of that. But if I'm at an international hotel called, I believe I was at the Intercontinental, where they thrive on international clientele and English being used to acknowledge the word blueberry. And I believe pretended like they didn't know what I was talking about. Because the way that they would say it with their accent is blueberry. You got to remember that Thai is a tonal language, which means that, like, if I could say the same thing different ways with different tones, like blue, berry, and it actually becomes a different word in their language. But you're working at an international chain, in an international hotel chain. It says on English blueberry muffin. Someone says blueberry muffin and you refuse to acknowledge that you know what they want because they didn't say blueberry instead of blueberry. That is the attitude of Thai people. Okay. Oh, look at all the blueberry emojis. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, so that's my little Thai story. And that's why I don't like Siem Reap either, because I find the Cambodians, because there has been so many generations where there have been Thai people running Siem Reap, that they're at the now it's part of Cambodia, but the generations of people were under the Thai influence and have that same attitude. And it's not just towards foreigners. They're like that for anyone who's not from Siem Reap. Because I talk to Cambodians in Phnom Penh that go to Siem Reap to go see Angkor Wat or whatever, and they experience the same prejudice. for example, there's like rice and pork for breakfast. I mean, I think at the time it was like 3,000 real, 75 cents. So I stop someplace and in Siem Reap, and I order paisatru, that's the rice and pork. Normally, it comes with some slices of cucumber and fresh cucumber and fresh tomatoes, like maybe 3 slices of cucumber and 3 slices of tomato. Granted, most of the time they're green tomatoes, but whatever. Sometimes they're red tomatoes. They give you some pickled, like a little dish of pickled vegetables, and then they give you soup with the rice and the pork. They gave me just rice and pork, no soup, no vegetables, no nothing. And then when I asked to pay, they wanted $2.50. And I'm speaking Khmer to them. I'm not some stranger foreigner. I'm a resident. I'm speaking Khmer. And they're still charging me $2.50. There's one time I wanted, it was hot, I was tired. I needed to go 3 or 4 blocks, right? And so and this wasn't even a tuk-tuk. This is just a guy on a motorcycle, a moto taxi. I tell him, I want to go this far. I was, if anybody knows, I was near National Road 6, where the King's Residence is, and the Raffles Hotel and all of that intersection. I was there going to like the Pub Street area, because I think I was going to the Blue Pumpkin to eat or something. I don't know. So from there to Pub Street, it's not even a mile, right? I mean, it's 4 or 5 blocks. They wanted $1. No, I think they wanted like $5. Now, normally I would pay like 2,000 real in Phnom Penh to go that distance, right? 50 cents. I would pay 50 cents to go that distance in Phnom Penh. And I was willing to double that and pay $1. I absolutely refused. They wanted like $5. And so I walked. I was not going to give in to that kind of extortion. And so that's why I don't like Siem Reap. And I know like Frugal lives there. A lot of people live there. A lot of foreigners love living there. They've just recently like redone a lot of like, they have sidewalks now that you can walk on and things where they didn't, before it was like Phnom Penh as far as sidewalks. You didn't really have to. NSVE4MS says, I read every comment on Cambodia in many social media, even ones with few views. High condescending comment. Yeah, they have perfect English except a few. Well, they're using ChatGPT. If they have perfect English, or Google they're using Google Translate. Oh, Mumsy has to leave now. Okay, hugs and have a happy New Year. They can be brash, Now, updates on the border, I can say that last week, we entered into a ceasefire agreement, so that was great, right? But everybody was like, everybody in Cambodia was like holding their breath, because every time there was any kind of ceasefire, or they were going to release the prisoners, they had 18 Cambodian soldiers held prisoner. They would step on a landmine. And gosh darn, they did it again. Unbelievable. So when the talks started, someone stepped on a landmine. And then the next day, someone stepped on a landmine. And the international community was calling them out. It's like, no, you had all these days and months of conflicts, and your soldiers are going into Cambodian villages and destroying them even more, and stealing motorbikes and stealing bicycles and stealing, they were looting, and It's not Cambodian videos, it's Thai videos of the Thai soldiers bragging how they're looting. Okay? And so this is how we know they're doing it, because it's their videos. And nobody's stepping on landmines while they're shooting things up. No one's stepping on landmines while they're looting. But once they started talking, oh, there's a land, and everybody in Cambodia is going like, here we go again. But I think that this time, because they had a pattern that everybody around the world was calling them out on it, and they were not going to get away with it. So they had to agree. Now, they said that they would release the prisoners yesterday at noon. Noon comes and goes. There's no prisoner release. And we're just going like, yep, they lied about it, you know. And someone somewhere, I don't know who, it is part of the Geneva Convention that if you have a ceasefire, you have to release the prisoners. Okay, it's probably a little bit more detailed, but that's the basic. You have to. And there was 72 hours of ceasefire that held. There was no fighting, and they tried to say there were drones. Oh, Cambodia's flying drones. There's another landmine, you know. But Cambodia didn't fire a shot. They didn't use their. I think they instantly started getting slack. And or flack. I guess it would be flack, not slack. So this morning the prisoners were released. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness. And that's what we were holding our breath for. Because if they didn't release those prisoners, we knew that everything was going to go on. Now, could they start something up again? Yes, they could. But now the likeliness and the percentage is way down. Way, 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 way down. So Cambodians are very much celebrating New Year's with that. Andy says, anyone would have airs about other cultures seems humorous because they all seem the same anyways. Well, even America believes in America first, right? You know, we try to protect ourselves, right? Whatever country you're in. So, well, I'm going to let everybody go to enjoy their new year. Thank you so much for joining with me today. And I just want to leave you with one thing, and that is that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you're watching this, I love you. I do. Regardless of what country you're from. So, with that, tomorrow we will be doing movie games. So if you want to take a break from all the news and whatever is going on in your life and just have some time to have some fun, we will be doing movie trivia tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. And I hope to see you there later, traveling fools. So, until next time, catch you later.